Path of Nightmares. Hitchhikers, our nightmare journey with a creepy stranger. Jake stood on the side of the deserted highway, his thumb outstretched and a worn backpack slung over his shoulder. He had been walking for hours, hoping for a ride to the next town. The sun had dipped below the horizon, leaving him in the eerie glow of twilight. Just when he thought he might have to spend the night under the open sky, the rumble of an engine approached. The driver, a man in his mid-40s with a disheveled appearance and piercing eyes, leaned over and opened the passenger door. "Need a lift?" the man asked, his voice a gravelly drawl. Jake hesitated for a moment but then nodded, climbing into the cab. The man introduced himself as Ray and quickly put the truck back into gear, the engine growling as they sped down the highway. The ride started with casual small talk, but there was something off about Ray. His eyes darted between the road and Jake, and his smile never reached those cold, calculating eyes. Jake tried to push down the growing unease in his stomach. "So, where you headed?" Ray asked, breaking the silence. "Just to the next town. Anywhere with a motel." "Really?" Jake replied, forcing a smile. Ray chuckled, the sound sending shivers down Jake's spine. "Well, you're in luck. There's a gas station a few miles up. We'll stop there, and I'll point you in the right direction." As they pulled into the gas station, Jake noticed something was wrong. The place was eerily silent, the lights were off, and there was no attendant in sight. The darkness was thick, almost palpable, as if it swallowed all light. Ray parked the truck and turned to Jake with a sinister grin. "Wait here. I'm just gonna check inside." Jake watched as Ray disappeared into the station. Minutes ticked by, each one filled with a growing sense of dread. Suddenly, Ray reappeared, his face a mask of calm. "Come on in. Let's see if we can find you a map." Reluctantly, Jake followed Ray into the gas station. The air inside was stifling, heavy with the scent of oil and something metallic. The faint flicker of a broken fluorescent light barely illuminated the room. Jake's eyes adjusted to the dim light. Behind the counter, the lifeless body of the gas station clerk lay sprawled on the floor. Panic surged through Jake as he realized Ray was a killer. Ray turned to Jake, his smile now a twisted, malevolent grin. "Looks like you're the next in line," he said, his voice dripping with malice. Jake's survival instincts kicked in, and he bolted for the door. Ray lunged at him, but Jake managed to slip out of his grasp and sprinted into the night. Jake ran through the darkness, his breath coming in ragged gasps. He could hear Ray's footsteps behind him, relentless and determined. The highway stretched out before him, an endless ribbon of asphalt in the moonlight. Jake ran through the darkness, his breath coming in ragged gasps. He could hear Ray's footsteps behind him, relentless and determined. The highway stretched out before him, an endless ribbon of asphalt in the moonlight. He darted into the woods, hoping to lose Ray. He could hear Ray's maniacal laughter echoing through the night, sending chills down his spine. Jake's legs burned as he pushed through the dense underbrush, finally stumbling upon a narrow creek. He waded into the cold water, hoping it would cover his tracks and throw Ray off his trail. As he moved further into the forest, Jake's eyes caught sight of an old, abandoned cabin through the trees. Desperate for any kind of shelter, he made his way toward it, his heart pounding in his chest. Jake slipped inside the cabin, the door creaking ominously behind him. The place was dark and musty, with broken windows and rotting furniture scattered about. He quickly barricaded the door, then began searching the cabin for a weapon. Found a rusted iron poker, ready to fight for his life. Jake crouched in the darkness, straining to hear any sound over his pounding heart. Suddenly, a heavy thud reverberated through the cabin as Ray began to pound on the door. The door gave way, and Ray burst into the cabin, his eyes wild with fury. "There's no escape, Jake." Ray's voice rang out, filled with sadistic glee. Jake swung the poker with all his strength, catching Ray across the face. Ray stumbled back, blood streaming from a gash on his cheek. The two men grappled in the confined space. Jake fought with every ounce of strength he had left. Finally, Jake managed to land a blow that sent Ray crashing to the floor, unconscious. Jake collapsed onto the floor, exhausted but alive, staring at Ray's unconscious form. He couldn't believe he had survived the encounter, but he knew he needed to get away before Ray woke up. With trembling hands, Jake searched Ray's pockets and found a set of car keys. He took a deep breath, knowing this was his chance to escape. He runs as fast as he can to the truck and fiddles with the keys. As he tries every key, Ray comes staggering down the driveway towards the old truck and tries to grab Jake. Jake found the key and opened the truck door, got in and locked the doors, started the truck and sped off, leaving Ray far behind. That's the end. Thank you for watching, and if you liked it, hit the like button or subscribe. Hitchhike if you dare.